Imagine millions of Americans, including children and the elderly, suddenly losing access to their next meal. This is the stark reality facing the nation as the government shutdown continues, with federal food aid set to halt on November 1st. The U.S. Department of Agriculture, USDA, has issued a grim notice on its website, confirming that the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, SNAP, a lifeline for roughly 1 in 8 Americans, will be unable to distribute benefits next month. This announcement comes on the heels of the Trump administration's decision to forego utilizing approximately $5 billion in contingency funds to sustain the program through November. The USDA's statement is blunt. The well has run dry. At this time, there will be no benefits issued on November 1st. This development marks a critical turning point, particularly for Senate Democrats who are locked in a political standoff with Republicans. The shutdown, which began on October 1st, is now the second longest in U.S. history. While the administration took steps to ensure SNAP benefits were paid this month, the impending cutoff threatens to widen the impact of the impasse, affecting some of the most vulnerable Americans unless a resolution is reached in the next few days. But here's where it gets controversial. The administration points fingers at Democrats who refuse to reopen the government until Republicans negotiate on extending Affordable Care Act subsidies. Meanwhile, Republicans insist Democrats must agree to end the shutdown before any talks can begin. This political gridlock has left families in limbo with no clear path forward. There is an urgent need to reopen the government, House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries emphasized on Face the Nation with Margaret Brennan. We continue to demand that Republicans join us at the negotiating table to enact a bipartisan spending agreement. Democratic lawmakers have even written to Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins, urging her to use contingency funds to cover next month's benefits. However, a USDA memo released Friday dashed those hopes, stating that contingency funds are legally unavailable for regular benefits and are reserved for emergencies like natural disasters. The memo highlighted Hurricane Melissa, now a major hurricane, as a prime example of why these funds must remain untapped for rapid disaster response. And this is the part most people miss. While some states, regardless of party, have vowed to temporarily cover SNAP benefits, there are significant doubts about whether federal directives will allow them to do so. Even if states step in, the USDA memo warns, they will not be reimbursed, raising questions about the sustainability of such efforts. Other states, like Arkansas and Oklahoma, are advising SNAP recipients to prepare for the worst by seeking out food pantries and other local resources. The situation has sparked sharp criticism from Democratic leaders, with Senator Chris Murphy of Connecticut accusing Republicans and President Trump of refusing to negotiate. If they sat down to talk, we could resolve this quickly, Murphy said on CNN's State of the Union. We could reopen the government by midweek and avoid a food stamp crisis altogether. Food banks across the country are already sounding the alarm, bracing for an influx of families in need. The prospect of millions going hungry has united states across party lines in concern. But without a political breakthrough, the consequences could be devastating. Here's a thought-provoking question for you. Is it fair to hold essential programs like SNAP hostage in a political standoff? Or should there be a bipartisan agreement to protect the most vulnerable, regardless of the broader debate? Share your thoughts in the comments. Let's keep the conversation going.